Sardinia, one of the oldest islands on the planet. Traveling there, I was wondering, what is this place? Is it really Italian? Is it Eastern European? All I know is Sardinia is old, it's mysterious, and the bread is a cracker. A rugged landscape dotted with thousands of ancient stone ruins where some people still speak Sardo, an ancient language derived from Latin, Arabic, and Spanish influences, reflecting the island's turbulent past. I mean, the flag has heads on it, and they're cut off. What was I getting myself into? Was this going to be a trip through hell? Nope. Turns out this place is paradise, and I may never leave.
Let's do this. Okay.
We're rolling, Rob.
Spicy. Wow.
Sardinia is literally the Wild West of Italy, an undiscovered country of sorts that lies over 200 miles to the west of the mainland. The island was indigenous to the Nuragic civilization in the Bronze Age, the remnants of which are still dotted across the landscape by thousands of stone tombs, or nuraghi. It was home to the Phoenicians, then conquered by Carthage, Rome, and the Byzantines. Through it all, Sardinia has remained an independent island rich with history. Sicily may have the upper hand in tourism, but Sardinia is no less stunning. From the gorgeous sandy beaches to the rocky and mountainous landscapes of the interior, the culture and lifestyle of the people is as warm and hospitable as any I've known. And somehow, grapes grow on the beach. But before I donned my swimsuit, we sat down with Anna Cadedu of Selo y Mosca for some chilled espresso and a taste of the locals' favorite sandwiches.
Today is hot. It is molto caldo, but we're now back by the sea, and we're having a shakerato, which is a cold espresso with a little foam, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm about to taste those typical algherese. We have in our origin this bread, which has a singular name that is very peculiar, that is cola cola. Cola cola means in Sardinian language something that is almost liquid. And because this bread, before it's cooked, is liquid. So it's a completely different kind of bread, which is in our tradition. The strange thing is that when you eat it, there seems to be a lot of things, but when you eat it, it's not so heavy. And you like to eat even one more.
This sandwich is what I would call a wet sandwich. This is out of control. And you remember coming here since you were younger,
yes,
and like this was a place where you'd come after school and like
everybody comes in Alghero have to eat
I can see it in your face.
Yes.
I feel like this place means a lot to you personally.
I'm watering in my mouth.
Well, let's dig in. The best food in the world tends to be messy, and you have to use your fingers.
Crust up here I've been seeing a lot around the winery on the
yes,
some of the labels too, and
yes,
what is it?
It's our brand, and you can see, for example, here they are showing 5 people. They are squeezing some grapes in twisting a bag using 2 poles, and turning those 2 poles, one in one sense and the other in the other sense. Exactly. The 5th person you see, which is between them, yes, it's like dancing. It's in a very acrobatic position, and that was chosen by the founders, which were great travelers, great knowledge of archaeology, of art, and as the brand of the company, showing a lot of work because there are 5 people working, but at the same time it's like a dance. So it was chosen just to celebrate the moment of the harvest and winemaking.
After lunch, it was time for a bit of history. Actually, 5,000 years of history. Local tour guide Giovanni Galazzarano took us to see one of the largest necropolis of pre-Nuragic Sardinia.
Jeff, this is Domus Deianas. We are speaking about 5,000 years old.
And so 5,000 years ago. This is the Stone Age.
This is stone.
So everything we see here is going to be carved out with stones.
Yes, they use stone by stone because they weren't metals.
And then you said this valley is called, it's the Valley of the Fairies, but can you say it in Sardinian?
Janas.
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 Can I go inside?
Yes.
Me
Come.
first or you first?
You first.
Me first? Okay. 5,500 years carved by hand. This is unfucking believable.
It's hard to fathom how these tombs were built by hand so long ago. Harder still to fathom is just how many of them exist on the island.
We have 3,000 of this monument in all Sardinia. Not all have this perfection, but this is the queen of the Domus de Janas. Its name is Sincanto, the enchantment.
When was this found?
In 1987. Was found by a young shepherd at the time, and he found this under a big plant of myrtle.
I'm very taken aback by the fact that this is 5,000 years old and that a human being carved this detail and painted these walls, and it's still here.
Yes, this is a treasure.
Yeah.
Very treasure.
In the south of Sardinia, one of the most storied wineries is Argiolas, located near the southern city of Caligari. Native wines have been cultivated here for centuries, but it was Antonio Argiolas, a dedicated viticulturalist, who put Sardinian wines on the map in the early part of the 20th century. Today, 3 generations later, his grandchildren Valentina and Antonio are keeping those family traditions alive with the same focus on growing native grapes.
One of the most interesting things for me as a wine person is our grapes. It's what defines the wine itself. But all throughout the world, grapes also define culture. And one thing that I think is so fascinating about your family is you've specifically stuck to the native grapes of Sardinia. Can you tell us about your grandfather's idea and your ideas when it comes to these original varietals here?
As you said, yeah, my grandfather, when he started his wine business, he want to focus only in traditional grape varieties. And here, where we are in Sardinia, the most important grape variety at that time, when my grandfather started our business, was Nuragus. Nuragus was cultivated only here in Sardinia area, Cagliari also, of course. And now we are in a vineyard of Monica, another local grape that is very popular in the south part of the island. The most important philosophy of our winery is local grape, yes.
Do you feel like the grapes represent the people? And if they do, how would you describe that relationship?
The Sardinian people sometimes are very like our grape. The Cannonau sometimes is very strong grape, strong wine, like us, but also we have more sweet wines like the Nasco, Vermentino, that is more international. We have many different varieties that represent different people, mood.
As with every region of Italy I've ever been to, the cuisine is as important as the viticulture. And while there may be many grape varietals grown here in Sardinia, if you're not on the coast eating seafood, there's only one thing on the menu.
Oh yeah. Okay. So in Italian, this is a baby pig. We'd say maialino. How do you say it in Sardinia?
We say porcedu.
Porcedu. I love porcedu.
Finish with a U. Always.
Porcedu. How would you define Sardinia as a place? It seems so unique and so apart from the rest of Italy.
Independent. Because our history started with the Nuragic domination during the Bronze Age, and the Nuragic people start to produce wine. There is some ruins that demonstrate that we started during this period. Independent because we maintain our identity instead of to be dominated for a lot of different population during the centuries. First Phoenician from North Africa, then Roman, then Spanish people for centuries, and Arabian in the south part, and then at least the Piemontese. But we maintain our identity in terms of language, wines and food. And this is the fundamental differences between Sardinia and the rest of Italy.
And because of that, do you think of yourself as Sardinian first and Italian second?
Yeah, this is about fundamental. You understand perfectly. We are Sardinian first and then Italian.
So it's the Texas of Italy. I've been searching for my people.
You got it.
We'd say buon appetito in Italian, okay, but we're not in Italy, we're in Sardegna. So say it again, how do we say?
Assabatti.
Assabati, is it bati?
Assabatti.
Assabati. Assabati, everybody. So I'm gonna go for it. I'm going brains. I'm gonna do a little zombie action. It's actually pretty delicious. No, like we were in Sicily, and I ate spleen. And at first the spleen was like pretty good, but then later in the day, the spleen was not really good. But this tastes like sweetbreads, and it's something I have when I go out to eat. It's good. Thank you very much. Well, cheers. Grazie.
A little further down the coast is the Santati winery, where we met up with Tara Impson and Raffaele Cani in their vineyard on the beach. Let me say that again, and this is correct, their vineyard on the beach.
This is a singular experience for me. In 20 years of wine, I've read about vineyards on the beach, and now I'm standing in it. I mean, this seems like you couldn't be able to grow any. This is the beach, and there's vines in it. How does this all happen? It doesn't seem fertile enough. It doesn't seem the vines could grab onto anything.
Well, it happens because actually the soil, believe it or not, is actually very rich. It's rich in minerals. And there's a lot of limestone in it. And the vines actually here grow beautifully, as you can see. What you see here is what you get. They're very natural. They're bush vines. And actually, Santati have vines that are over 100 years old.
I've never been this close to the ocean and been in a vineyard at the same time too. Are they antagonists? Are they friends? Is it kind of a symbiotic relationship?
So for actually Carignano, they're great friends. The sea and everything helps this vineyard to adapt very well here. Also, Carignano is a grape that does very well with extreme conditions. And so there's actually a reason why it thrives in this particular area, such as extreme heats. Sardinia has a lot of heat. Also, drought. It does very well as a type of grape. So that's here you have the magic.
Magic is the right word for Sulcis. As if being in the Mediterranean on a beautiful beach weren't enough, you're surrounded by vines, some of which are over 100 years old. And it's not just the vines that live long here, the people do too. For every 1,000 Sardinians on the island, 22 of them are over the age of 100.
Ecco, questo è un ceppo di Carignano che ha più di 100 anni di vita. La sua produzione è molto limitata. Sono 2-3 grappoli massimo e sono dei grappoli proprio tipici del Carignano del Sulcis. Vedete? Ecco, si nota qui quanto ormai ha vissuto. È proprio una vite che assomiglia un pochino ai centenari della Sardegna.
Ponce de Leon can have Florida. I'm sticking with Sardinia. The culture and hospitality of the people comes through in everything they do, from their connections to the past to the food and wines of today. Much of Sardinia is still rugged and untouched, and traditions are found around every corner. But you'd be mistaken to think that this means everyone is living in the past. There's a vitality in the cities and communities, and a thriving nightlife with tourists eager to learn more and more about this ancient island.
Cagliari is pretty hopping at night. It's not a sleepy town, which is actually what I assumed. So Mirto, tell us all about this.
So Mirto is the most popular liquor from Sardinia. It is very natural product, and everybody make at home.
So do you grow the myrtle berries at
No, it's a wild.
Oh,
it's a wild.
Wild. So
we harvest wild in the mountain, in the countryside. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And somebody brings you them, and okay. Cool.
Do you shoot it or sip it?
No, sip.
You sip. Okay,
yeah.
just checking because I was going to get down on this.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
How do we say again in Sardinian? One more time.
Assabatti.
Assabatti.
Never forget.
On our last night in Sardinia, we dined again with Anna Cadedu, a lifelong Sardinian from the city of Alghero. Anna's understanding and enthusiasm about the culture of this island is infectious. Throughout my travels, this kind of passion has always gone hand in hand with hospitality.
to give hospitality. This is the first thing normally in Sardinia. That now is a stereotype, but I mean, it's true. You can go everywhere, maybe find people that don't understand even Italian because always spoke Sardinian, but they give you what they have in their house. Maybe it's only a piece of cheese, but they give it to you. The friendship is another thing. Friendship is something that is sacred for us.
Hospitality and friendship. This is how, after centuries of invasions and outside influences, Sardinia has remained independent. Even today, it's Sardinian first, Italian second. As we talked long into the night, I was struck by Anna's appreciation for all of the outside influences that have shaped this amazing and beautiful place. Some by force, some more diplomatically. But in the end, all of them having a lasting effect on what it means to be Sardinian.
The most simple thing, the tomato. I mean, pasta and pomodori. Pasta al pomodoro in Italy is the most Italian thing. Tomato is not from Italy. It came only after the discovery of America.
Pasta's not from Italy.
Pasta is not from Italy, it's from Asia. But people think it is Italian. So it is how you do it, how you share it. We are the result of many, many invaders. Everyone left something. Maybe stole something, but left something. So we are the result of this. So I think it's nice.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
Salute.
Salute.
To the contribution, influence.
Okay, there's a few choices here about coming down. There's no railing. One of my reasons I love Europe so much, and it also terrifies me. So I've decided to take the butt first approach of going down like this. But what's good is I can hold on to this. I will have to say, I've climbed up some crazy churches before, but this is the most narrow with the ability of falling down, which is kind of scary.